Intuit is laying off 1,800 employees as AI leads to a strategic shift. By the way, thank you, the Maximus Prime, for this delicious post. Intuit is laying off 1,800 employees as AI leads to a strategic shift. I don't know what that is. Intuit will tell approximately 1,800 of its global employees, 10% of its workforce, that they will be leaving the company. But leadership says this move isn't to cut costs. Sazan Godarzi, CEO of the Fortune 500 company, which offers products like QuickBooks, Credit Karma, and TurboTax. By the way, QuickBooks is just a god-awful piece of software. Like, the fact that you can't... There's these pages. So, like, to be able to add things to certain categories in bulk, you have to manually type a URL to find the hidden page to be able to do this. Okay? So, they're already a horrible, horrible, horrible piece of software. My wife was going one by one through 3,000 transactions, adding it, and I said there had to be a bulk way. I ended up searching for hours until I found this page that you literally have to go to by typing in a manual URL, do this crazy incantation, and then you can do 50 at a time. QuickBooks was good enough for FTX. Shut up. Wrote an internal email to employees seen by Fortune announcing the very difficult decision my leadership team and I have made. Interesting. So if you're laying off 10% of your workforce due to an immediate strategic change, I personally would argue that you're not that good at strategy, right? Like if in a single day you realize that you should completely shift the company, that's a Fortune 500 company, I just think that's a failure of planning. And what I mean by that is that to make that big of a change that quickly should have been something that takes time. And what I mean by that is that you start pursuing it in some smaller sense and you slowly keep on. To me, it just reeks of incompetence when you do that big of a shift, right? To be fair and devil's advocate, they could plan for AI. Absolutely, that's how new it is, and that's what I mean. This is terrible. If you couldn't even plan for it due to how fast it happened, you're probably not planned for it now. I'm just saying, if you couldn't even see the thing coming, and in one day you see this new magic thing, this new glitter on the wall, and you go, you know what? We need glitter generators. Let's fire 1,800 people. I just somehow think you're not planning well. Godarzi explains that Intuit's transformation journey. I could be wrong. To be fair, I haven't read all of this, okay? I haven't read all of this, including departing from the 1,800 employees is part of a strategy to increase investment in priority focus areas of AI and generative AI. Okay, first off, you're an accounting firm. Like, okay, when it comes to taxes, you're either right or you're audited. You're either right or you're getting Al Caponed in Alcatraz. There's no 95% right when it comes to taxes. AI-powered LLM taxes sounds crazy. You're right or you're doing fraud. There's no gray area. It's fraud or you're right. And even if you just made an accident of omission, an accident of ignorance, IRS don't care. Okay, IRS don't care about oopsie poopsies, right? Such as its Gen AI powered financial assistant called Intuit Assist, and reimagining its products from traditional workflows to AI native experiences. Please tell me that AI native is not the new Silicon Valley buzzword. Is this Socolo? Is this Peak Valley? Is this DevOps at one point? Oh, it's happening. This is a buzzword. Boys, we just hit a buzzword. Fact that. Dude, it is. Cloud Native 2.0. This is Cloud Native. AI native. Noah, get the boat. Noah, get the boat. We got AI native. The strategy also focuses on money movement, mid-market expansion for small businesses, and international growth. We do not lay off to cut costs. And that remains true in this case. Interesting. Godarzi writes, Intuit plans to hire approximately 1,800 new people with strategic functional skill sets, primarily in engineering, product, customer-facing roles such as sales, customer success, and marketing. Okay, just quick question here. All right, so you have 1,800 people in this bucket, all right? And these are all going away. You have 1,800 new hires in the departments of engineering, product, which is short for like design, UX, things like that. Marketing, sales. Are these janitors and HR? What's left here? Support? Let's see, hold on. Customer success would be support. Customer success is support. So they also have support, right? Customer success, CX, customer experience, that's support. What is in here? Oh, lawyers. Well, don't worry, they have AI. Don't worry, they have AI. AI is really good at law. Like, that's one thing that AI is like just a shining example of is laws. It can get them right like every time. 60% of the time. Like 100% accuracy. Thank you for the hype train, Lightastore. Don't think I didn't see that little one you slipped in, Lightastore. Yeah, I saw that, Lightastore. Legal operations. Okay, so here we go. We got legal operations, HR, risk, administrative assistance. I somehow doubt that they laid off administrative assistants. Finance. Somehow finance seems like a strange one to lay off. You know, because you're a finance company. Oh my gosh. Do they actually think the Gen AI can replace finance? Is this what the finance? Oh no, don't worry. C-suite most certainly is not getting fired. Okay, first off, there's like 10 of them. And second off, C-suite's not going to vote to fire itself. Come on. Everybody knows that. C-suite is always really sorry when your job goes away. Every single time. They're just, dude, heart is broken. LinkedIn picture of CEO crying. Okay, like, trust me. Like this, trust me, they're sad. They're sad. They screwed up. Okay, they've messed up. We're just taking a moment here, okay? I just want to take a moment and pour one out for my homie. This will be the most vulnerable thing I'll ever share. I've gone back and forth whether to post this or not. We just had to lay off a few of our employees. I've seen a lot of layoffs over the last few weeks on LinkedIn. Most of these are due to economy or whatever. Ours, my fault. I made a decision in February and stuck with that decision far too long. Now, I know my team will say we made that decision together, but I let us into it. And because of those failings, I had to do today the toughest thing I've ever had to do. It's not cringe, okay? It's sad. And you guys are being heartless. That CEO literally cried his entire chauffeured ride home to Atherton. It was really hard. It was really, really hard. You guys don't even know. For those that don't know Atherton's like the richest area in California. That might be too much inside baseball joke. It's like this area. Like if you go to Atherton, CA, like Atherton is known as just like the most ridiculous thing ever. Okay. All right. Sales tax, 9.8%. Population, 6,700. Why is Atherton so expensive? But there's a reason Atherton has remained pricey, and that's because being a not very good neighborhood to the rest of California. That's what housing advocates have said. Flexing their power. How America's richest zip code stays exclusive. Chief cringe officer. All right, anyways, let's keep on going. Sorry, we're getting distracted. We got to get back in. Of the employees who will depart Intuit, 1,050 are not meeting expectations based on a formal performance management process. How'd you get that many? Like, again, this just absolutely reeks of bad management. How did you hire that many bad people that did not manage it? And how did you come to the conclusion to fire them all at once? Right? Like, there's so many flags going on here that we should all stop and go into it. What are you should be into hiring better and or actually doing some level of looking at your employees. Like, there should be is this AI native performance evaluations? Is that what this is? Like, you should never be surprised that there's that many bad people working at your company. If you are, you have bad management. This is why Google has bad management, because Google is filled with poor performers, and now they're trying to clear house and try to figure out how to actually save face. The company believes that they will be more successful outside of Intuit. Can we just all take a second? Can we just all take a second and just enjoy this phrase right here? More successful outside of Intuit. That is a crazy statement. Accidental poetry, everybody. Accidental poetry. Absolutely correct. I would say that if you ever say this phrase, you should get fired too. When it comes to talking about 1,000 people. Okay, like, I get that there is sometimes you hire somebody and they're just not designed for the environment, right? Like, maybe you're a very high process person and they just can't handle process, or the inverse, right? You're a low process company and they really want process. Like, they're just not, like, if you hire an Amazon exec and they come in and try to put a bunch of process into your company that's not filled with process, and you're like, hey, this isn't for us. I feel like you'd be more successful somewhere else, right? Like, I am firing you for your own good at this point. I get that. But to say that it was performance issues and then to say that they'll be more successful somewhere else, that's a wild statement. In addition, Intuit is reducing the number of executives, directors, senior VPs, and executive VPs by approximately 10%, expanding certain executive roles and responsibilities. Wait, hold on. They're not going to fire at least one C-suite person? Come on. Give us one. Someone actually thought that sounded reassuring. Like, don't worry. These people won't be homeless or anything. Oh my gosh. Intuit is also consolidating 80 tech roles to sites where it's growing technology teams, including Atlanta, Bangalore, New York, Tel Aviv, and Toronto. The company is closing 2 sites in Edmond and Boise. Yeah, nobody likes Boise. That have over 250 employees, with a certain number of employees relocating to other sites within Intuit or leaving the company. Okay, I mean, that makes sense. If you're closing an office, then I could understand that some people would rather stay in Boise than, say, to move to Bangalore, Atlanta, New York, Tel Aviv, Toronto, right? Maybe the Edmontoners don't want to go to Toronto. Maybe the Boiseers don't want to go to New York or Atlanta, all right? With a certain number of employees relocating to other sites within Intuit or leaving the company, Intuit is also eliminating more than 300 roles across the company to streamline work and reallocate resources toward key growth areas. So it's not a cost. This is not a cost cut, okay? This isn't a cost cut. It's to stop spending money to spend money differently. Yeah, that's cost cut. That's actually a cost cut. That's what a cost cut is. It's where you stop spending money either to spend it somewhere else or to save it. Financial enhancement. Is this financial enhancement? All departing U.S. employees will receive a package that includes a minimum of 16 weeks pay. Okay, that's nice. 4 months pay. Hey, okay, you know what? Hey, Intuit. That at least that's a pretty good severance. I feel less upset about that. Okay, hey, we can all agree that's pretty good. Plus 2 additional weeks for every year of service. Oh wow, better. Hey, better. If you were there for 6 years, you got fired, you got 22 weeks, you practically got a half year. That's actually really good. Hey, can we all agree that that's actually pretty good? I mean, can we also agree? Fuck Edmonton. Can we just all agree to that? You know what? You guys get you get no severance. You get the hell out of there or move to Toronto. But hey, U.S. though, man, hey, you know what? You get that 6 weeks. They will have 60 days before they leave the company. Oh, wow. Okay, dude. Okay, so, man, I feel like somewhat more asshole-ish now because this is actually a pretty good, this is pretty good for a layoff. This might be the best layoff I've seen thus far. Whoopsies, they're being pretty decent. Yep. I actually feel bad now because they're actually being pretty decent. But they did make the last day my birthday. So, hey, I don't know how I feel about that, okay? There's going to be a bunch of Intuit people that aren't that happy. Pretty good for 50. Yeah, I mean, you got to remember that they are saying that they literally aren't meeting expectations based on a formal performance management process. So they're saying these people don't meet expectations yet. We are willing to give you 4 months with a 2-month notice and 2 weeks for every additional. That's pretty good. That's pretty dang good. Happy birthday. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Let's see. Employees outside U.S. will receive similar support taking into account local requirements. Okay, Edmonton, you're pretty cool. Edmonton, pretty cool. The timing allows everyone leaving to reach their July vesting date for restricted stock units and the July 31st eligibility date for annual IPI bonuses. Okay, I take back what I have said. Actually, this is a pretty kind layoff. It really is. This is a pretty kind layoff, right? As far as layoffs go, this is pretty kind. Godarzy, I still think you guys maybe not that great at planning. The fact that you came up with 1,000 people all at once really just shows a lack of insight into your own company. That's at least how I perceive this. But at least even when you had a lack of insight, maybe you watched a couple David Goggins videos, you decided to go hard, change your company, decide to really get after things, and then you're going to do all this other stuff with stock, waiting for restricted stock units to become eligible and all that kind of stuff. Okay. Well done. It kind of backs up that it's not a cost thing. Yes, it does actually kind of back up that it's not a cost thing. I think, okay. Is it covering up for firing DEI teams without openly saying it? For example, Microsoft just laid off their DEI team. I did see that. I did see Microsoft doing that. Somehow I doubt this, just because laying off a DEI team, I would assume would be a much smaller number. Laying off 1,800 people doesn't feel the same, right? So assuming that because I only saw an article floating around about the Microsoft DEI firing, whatever. Like, I don't know how true or false it is. I just didn't look at it. So I don't know like how true or not true that is. But I assume this isn't it, right? Yeah. Can we all assume that's probably not it? If Goggins worked at Microsoft, would it be a semi? It'd be semi-soft. That's right. All right. Intuit. Let's see. Intuit is in a position of strength, according to Godarzi. The company earned $14.4 billion in revenue in the fiscal year of 2023, moving up 24 spots on the Fortune 500. For a period ending in April 30th, Intuit reported revenue of $6.7 billion, up 12%. Okay. AI generated. Most realistic game of the year. This is probably not even a picture from the game. There you go. This was actually a fascinating article. I'm surprised by two things again. I'm going to say it one more time, which is I'm surprised by a few things. One, I'm very surprised that they're making it such a priority to focus on Gen AI powered stuff. I would just be so much more careful and so much more hesitant about that. For me, any company taking in AI as a major initiative, it should be a major initiative, but done in a small impact way. Like, how does this work? Like, can we adopt this on a tiny scale over the course of 5 years and really make it so that we fully understand everything about it? Because it really is like the acceptance of what AI is and where it's going is on a very, very wide range. You got like the computer file, right? Over here saying, hey, like there's definitely a limit here. And to even get it remotely percent better, the amount of training that you have to do becomes larger and larger and larger and larger. And then you have other people that are like, AI hype, bro, your job's gone tomorrow, yesterday, you will have nothing, blah, 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 right? Like you can see this huge range. So going whole hog into something feels a little bit like you're making a mistake. And I feel like you can kind of feel this mistake because they're laying off such a large amount of people that are not meeting their expectations. Again, you would assume a healthy company should be having, like every manager should be having these kind of talks with every single employee. Every manager should be empowered to be able to understand when to let go of somebody. Like if that's not the case and you have to wait for formal reviews before you can fire someone, that's just such a fundamentally broken company. That approach is fully broken. Like nothing about this smells good. But what does smell very, very good and what I think is very, very amazing is that you actually did put your money where your mouth is, literally. Even though you're letting go of these people, you're giving them pretty good severance packages and then even allowing them to stay for a stock vesting time. Like, hey, that's pretty nice, right? That's pretty nice. What smells good? Terminal coffee. Absolutely. Terminal coffee, people. Terminal coffee, terminal coffee, terminal coffee. Oh, crap. AI native sounds like a terrible idea. And I also agree that AI native sounds terrible. So that's kind of like how I look at this, which is a lot of respect in how they're acting with the layoff, but the rest looks like it just doesn't look, you lack strategy. There needs to be somebody the C-suite needs more strategy. The name is be better at strategy, man. You know, like there's this one time I was playing Kick the Can as an adult with a group of people, okay? I know that's kind of crazy, but there was about 20 of us playing Kick the Can. 4 people guarding the can, and then 16 of us trying to play Kick the Can. And we are saying, can we actually play it as adults? Is this game fun, or were we just young and stupid? Anyway, so we started doing that, and I said, okay, I have this idea. I got everybody together, and I said, we're going to scream and yell and come running in. So they all look at us. They all come towards us. And then right before we get there, we're going to go left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, and spread them out. And the last person's going to walk in and kick the can. And guess what? Exactly that happened. Left, right, left, right, left, right. People stopped being able to focus, opened it up. One person walked in, kicked the can. It just goes to show a little bit of strategy can go a long way. When I read this, I think they would have just come walking and hiding and all got tagged at kick the can. This does not sound like a group of people that I want on my team for kick the can. Okay? How many beers were involved? All of the beers. Okay? I spread them, boys. All right? That's why they call me Prime. Spread them, boys. A gen.